the number one pain point for women on camera. Number one. It's the biggest pain point that all of us really deal with on camera. Body image comes up all the time. What happens with body image issues is that you don't necessarily recognize them at first as being a body image issue. So when you are looking at yourself on camera, you're like, I just don't like the way that I look. Or I've even heard clients say, I hate the way that I look. I hate this about myself. I think my arms should be like this. I think my tummy should look like this. I think that my chest should look a certain way, or that I should be a certain way, or when I look at myself, I just can't stand seeing myself on camera. All of these things stem from either facial relation or body image issues. Body image issues are something that impact all of us. Even if we don't think that they do because our societal expectations are that such that they would affect us in this manner. So what is a body image issue or body image dysmorphia or just body image as a whole? When we see ourselves on camera, or if we even just like being in our own skin on a daily basis, if we're not comfortable within our own skin, it's not necessarily because we are of a heavier weight or our arms aren't toned. It's not necessarily just that. Body image issues stem way back before we even had cameras available. There are women that have actually written historical books about how they feel in their body, especially after childbirth or after weight loss or weight gain. So what happens is, like I said before, with disconnect, when we don't meet our own expectations, and those expectations are not just societal expectations. They might be expectations that are in our own mind. So if you think about if you've ever, gained 10 pounds, or if you've ever lost 10 pounds, and when you go back and you see yourself in the mirror, you see yourself and you just can't really get used to it. It takes a while to be able to get used to seeing yourself at a different weight. You look different, so you perceive your expectations are a little bit different. So when you look at yourself, you don't see what you were expecting of yourself. That's where disconnect comes in and creates this problem called body image issue. So body image issue is when we don't meet our own expectations, when we're looking at ourselves in the mirror and we can't see what we think we should be seeing. This comes into play even if it's as little as 5 pounds. So you could eat chips and salsa tonight and tomorrow not recognize yourself in the mirror because your clothes don't fit you the exact same way as they did before because you're retaining water. It starts at a very small little increment. It's nothing that has to be a huge difference. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, it's only 10 pounds or it's only a pound. But if it causes you to see yourself differently in the mirror and differently on camera, then it matters. It matters then. You can't really get away from it. Body image issues is not something that you can say, I'm going to get over this. If I could just get over this, then I could get on camera. I need to get over this. People think that they can just get over a body image issue, but you cannot just get over it. It's just like you can't get over PTSD, or you can't get over a learning disability. It is something that is inside you that causes you to see yourself differently. You have to address it. You actually have to address it and heal it before you can move forward. We're just opening this up. And I know this is like a tragically adverse topic. People don't want to talk about this, but this is something I talk about on a daily basis. First, you have to be able to identify it. You can't just keep looking away from it. So if you're looking in the mirror at yourself and you're like, I don't like X, or I don't like XYZ, or I don't like anything from here down, there's just nothing, I can't connect with this area. You have to be able to connect with your body and heal that relationship. You can't act like it doesn't exist. You can't keep going on and acting like you don't have an issue with it when you know inside that you do. Okay? So that's how we're going to first move forward. We have to be able to identify that we do have an issue with body image, and this is what you're struggling with. I don't like the way I look on camera. I don't like the way I look in Facebook Lives. I don't like the way that I look when I'm naked. I don't like something about myself. Or even if you've gotten to the point where you say, I hate when I look like X, or I hate when this happens. A lot of these things can be overcome but you don't just get over them. Something is always going to be there where but once you overcome it, you can look back and say, I used to be here and this is where I am now. This is where we're healing. So if you are struggling with this at a high degree, then I would definitely recommend finding a body image counselor that's in your area or getting cognitive therapy, because this is not something we're going to be covering on a weekly basis. So if we have to see that we first have this, we have to see what the societal expectations are. So we have all of these societal expectations that are out here. And I can tell you, with being on the inside of film and the inside of television, I have been on the inside of creating that for all of you. And that's something that we're going to be addressing that as far as my industry and the involvement of that at a later date. Start to change the societal expectations because they're out of whack. They don't make any sense whatsoever. So, and the reason why is because of all of the things that we do to people to make them look a particular way, then somebody else wishes that they look like that and thinks that they're not good enough. It's heartbreaking to me because when I first started, I was working with models. Okay, and I was working with models and like, okay, well, we put the makeup on this person because we know what we're going to be using in Photoshop to be able to get rid of this imperfection. Okay, where they were more focused on ridding the person of any imperfections whatsoever, so there weren't any distractions. And what I'm finding, and what I focus on with my career with media especially, is if you have an imperfection, that is going to be your greatest asset. You've got a birthmark on your face, great. You've got a scar on your face, that's awesome. You've got a scar on your chest from surgery that you had when you were a child. That is going to actually be something that can catapult your career. It's the reason why I kept the gap between my teeth when I had an option when I was going on camera to have it closed. I kept it because I know that imperfection is actually something that is brandable and something that is marketable and something that can actually help people connect with you because they also have imperfections.